As a free-to-play player, you might often find yourself struggling for the characters you want, but that might not be the biggest struggle you have in this game, as the weapon struggle is quite big and real and you overlook it because these characters are so shiny and fancy, and you don't really notice that the sword that fits them perfectly does not match their stats perfectly. So let us go over the weapons that will help you quite a lot. Of course, the 4-star weapons, because not everyone can just casually pull 5-star weapon as they want. Some of us try pulling for Jade Cutter, and then we end up with HP 5-star swords and don't use Cookie and have no idea what to do with it. So yeah, that's a pretty funny thing to happen. But less about that, let's get over some 4-star weapons that you definitely have to build. So first things first, let us start with shop weapons. Royal weapons, just throw them out of the conversation and never get those are not worth it. The same with Blacksmith Weapons, this is just not worth it.
Editor's note, this has actually changed due to the fact that now we have a bunch of catalysts mains. For example, Riot Slay, New Willet, not sure how Baiju stands, does he need crit? But apparently Blacksmith Weapons is useful, although if you need crit damage, there's zero with it, so...
On contrary, Blacksmith Pole, Blacksmith Slasher and Blacksmith Warbow, all of them you would want to build for your DPS, if you main Zhao, or really any polearm DPS that you might want to use with this. It can be your Hutaha, but she has better options because she wants to do your elemental reactions, while Zhao doesn't. That's why this is just perfect signature for Zhao, as he really only needs damage! He doesn't do any elemental reactions except swirling, which no. Blacksmith Slasher, good weapon for your Diluc, for your Beidou, for your really any character you might want to build that has Claymore. Although there are some specific options like Ito, who wants defense Claymore, and Eula that wants physical damage Claymore. But this, I believe, is pretty good option for all your Claymore characters, so send power Diluc mains and get your Blacksmith Slasher. Warbow, now I believe this might be the most important one if you're using many bow characters, as my child, my Venti,
my Farzan
often fight for this weapon. There is not much bows that you can utilize on many characters because some really require specific bow. For example, Yoimiya might require Rust. I believe Child needs Stringless. Was it Stringless? No, maybe that was for Official. But all of them want specific bow.
No shit, they want their signature 5 stars.
And Blacksmith is just great overall, so I would definitely advise you getting one. Blacksmith Longsword, I do not find that great. Though if you want more damage on your sword character like Xingqiu, and you're not having any energy struggles, you can get it. It is worth upgrading, you will not regret that. So if you want to get more damage on your sword characters and you have no better alternatives, get your Blacksmith Longsword.
Quick note that Xingqiu also has Lion's Roar for an alternative, which should in theory be more damage, so if you have good refinements on it, go for that instead of Blacksmith. If you can utilize the effect, of course.
Now let's go over the
Blacksmith Weapons.
Prototype Ranker do not use ever anymore, because Separate Blade exists. We basically use Prototype Ranker for our Bennett because it has high base attack and is easy to acquire. Now, we use Separate Blade for the same reason, and it also has energy recharge, plus it gives you Elemental Mastery, so you can actually utilize its second stat. You might even want to refine it if you need Elemental Mastery in your Bennett, dependable on the team you want to use. Iron Sting and Amenoma you really only want to use for specific characters. Iron Sting for your Kazuha and Amenoma for your Ayaka. Now for the bows, Compound Bow doesn't work, it's physical damage bonus, never get that. If you feel obliged to use your physical damage bonus bow or your physical damage bonus sword build for Kaya, kill yours! I would like to recommend you the nearest asylum you can find. Now Hamayumi or Prototype Crescent, it doesn't really matter which one you get, like they are similar in attack. Hamayumi might get you more attack because it has lower base attack, but I think 12% overrules that because this only has 9%. On effects, I think this is a bit more consistent, but if you believe you can utilize this a lot and that you really need that attack boost, then go for your Crescent.
Also,
you just want your damage boost overall. I think this might be a better option in more cases because it just increases your attack damage instead of attack as a stat. Claymores, I do not find energy recharge ones to be useful at all. White Blind, if you main Noel or Ito, go for it, you need defense Claymore. Snow Domed, only for Eula or your physical damage Claymores. Prototype Archaic, the best one in the shop, use it for Diluc, use it for Beidou. If you don't have Blacksmith option. Moon Piercer, definitely go for it if you're using Yao Yao. This would be for Kole probably.
It would not, this is no one's bow. It is absolute trash and it's worthless. Just build Hamayumi if you need the shop one. If you have Favonius Warbow, that will do fine. So yeah, don't build King Squire.
Prototype Ember. Now this is a catalyst that I would really advise you get and refine it to the max, because essentially what this does is turns any catalyst user to a healer as soon as they use their burst. It will heal the entire team right away. So at base this will heal like 12% of HP on refinement rank 1. The percentage gets higher as you level it up. I would definitely find this one of the most useful things from the shop, from the blacksmiths, because you might often find corrosion to be a problem in the abyss. And if you don't have a healer, just turn your Sucrose or Ahira into the healer and you'll be fine. Mappa Mare, not that great because they're a way better option, but for your damage, the best option in the shop. Frostbearer is just no. And all of these spears you do not need. Now let's go over some weapons to pull for in general. Claymores. While many people think Rain Slasher is bad, this is actually Diluc's best free-to-play option that rivals even 5 stars. And the same way I would assume it's great for Beidou, because affected by Hydro or Electro, Beidou can probably utilize this thing even better. It gives you Elemental Mastery, it doesn't have the highest base attack, but is the best free-to-play damage. It's the best free-to-play option for your characters overall, so go for it definitely. For your sword, you should already know that you need your Sacrificial Sword to be refined to level 5. You should have your Favonius swords on level 5, maybe even more of them. Lion's Roar is a great option if you want to have your sword character do a big damage, because affected by Pyro or Electro, that can be really well for your Xingqiu, for your Ayaka even, if you don't want to build Amenoma. So if you have really invested in your character with artifacts, and they have a lot of energy, I definitely advise you put some Primogems into getting your Lion's Roar, because this is just an amazing sword to have. Now for the bows. There are many options that you would want to get. For example, your Rust, your Stringless, dependable on the bow character you need. Although generally the best bow you want to get is Favonius Warbow, because most of them are supports. Fischl, Faruzan, Pujo Sara, Venti, your 5-star. Child really wants Blacksmith Warbow, and your DPSs want something like Rust. That's what Yoimiya wants, because normal damage increase. Your child, just give him Blacksmith Warbow. For your Fischl, I believe Stringless is pretty great, but I'm pretty sure you can utilize Favonius Warbow on her quite well. Now for your catalyst, Sacrificial Fragments is great if you want to put your Elemental Mastery on Ahira, which you often might want. That, I'm pretty sure, is your best option for it. Favonius Codex, not that great. With Sits, if you need critical damage on your catalyst, for example Mona is pretty good with that. Definitely go for With Sits. This is one of the better weapons in the game. Definitely worth pulling for. Now, this is not a 4-star weapon, we can count it as 5-star. Feeling Tales of Dragon Slayer, do not recycle these. Have 5 of them for max refinement. Like, you should have 10 of them in case you want both of your teams to have one of these buffs. So you want to pull for your With Sits, Sacrificial Fragments, and definitely your Feeling Tales of Dragon Slayers. For your polearms, I'd recommend you go fishing for your catch. Your Zhongli needs it, your Raiden needs it, your Zhongli can use it if you want to build his burst as a nuke. Although your Zhongli should generally use Favonius Lance. Also the spear I would recommend you use, because it can generate 2 energy particles off field, which is really great for your Zhongli. And third and the last, Dragon's Bane. You'll use this for your Zhongli if you don't have catch, or if your Raiden is using catch, you'll use Dragon's Bane on your Zhongli. And this is a pretty great weapon. So if you have your Hu Tao and if you love your Hu Tao, just give her your Dragon's Bane. Refine it to 5 if you can. You might not like the fact that it has Elemental Mastery stat, but come on, you need it for elemental reactions, it's not that bad, it has pretty sick passive effect, and it's just great overall. 3-star options you might want to use is White Tassel, which, don't get me wrong, is pretty good. I wouldn't recommend building it to your 3-star weapon. Now there are some weapons I didn't go over, so I found this random tier list on Reddit, which I will definitely not agree with, as they put Archaic over the Rain Slasher.
The fucking audacity!
And for some reason they put crit damage Claymore in S+ tier. So this thing might lack attack, this thing will lack crit damage, this lacks both, but it gives you Elemental Mastery, and you just have to vaporize with Diluc, you just have to. It gives you more Elemental Mastery for it, and its effect has 36% damage on Refinement 5, is pretty massive, you know. And I'm not sure about the fish and this other, I know this Liga one, it's not that great. One thing is that this says Blacksmith Agate is actually useful now. which I suppose might make sense if you're maining Riot Slay or something like that. Stringless you should definitely have, I believe that's for your official. And now this sword, this I recommend you get for your Bennett. It has like 600 base attack at max, so if you ever sit in the shop and see some other weapons you might want to pull for, go for it. Wavebreaker Spin is also one fancy option you might want to get for your Zhao, although Blackcliff, I agree with this list, is usually just better option for your speeder characters. Also for whoever in the living look Faloni's sword in A instead of S+. What is wrong with you? So guys, I hope this video helped you. That's my take on the weapons you should definitely have built. I didn't mention some great weapons that are actually the best for certain characters like Cinnabar Spindle, because if you have Cinnabar Spindle, if you use it, you know it's the best for your Albedo. Let me know in the comments what you think about this list and what are your favorite 4-star weapons, and I hope you have a great day. See you in the next video.